Welcome everyone. I'm just using I'm using everyone as a social experiment to see whether my connection looks good and if everything looks good for our live that's about to happen. So check it out. I'm coming back, ne? I'm just testing this out just to see if we are clear. Are we clear? Nondu says itigancane inywele lana. Nomzamo, our global superstar. Andrew, hi. Hi from NY. What time is it in New York right now even? Okay, is my hair cute now? I think my hair is cute, guys. A lady do. All right, I'm coming back. We're gonna start our live. Please. Oh, fantastic. So you forgot to say, Tony, you forgot to say #blog approved. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna switch this off and then we're gonna start again and do it. Sis Bombs, hey. Lucas, hey bestie, hi boo. Okay, I'm coming back in 2 seconds and we're going to start our Earthshot prize Take Your Series with MultiChoice. If you've been joining us for the past couple of months, we have been having such fantastic conversations. So this was just to use everybody as a social experiment to check if my connection is good, and we're going to have high quality. Perfect. I'll see you now. Bye-bye. There we go. Hello everyone. We're doing this once again. We've been doing this for the past couple of months and I'm so grateful that we get to do it again. Welcome. You already know, in the first couple of minutes, it's just everybody's waving at each other. Everyone's doing the pleasantries. I get it, we're Africans, so we respect. So there's pleasantries and greetings and salutations. In this household. Hey, Sis Tandega. When I was in Spire Days for sure. Bonolo says, hi, Sis Nam. Hey. Okay. If I propose, will you say yes? We're here to talk about sustainability and climate change. Please be focused. What are these marriage proposals? My lady Do's back. Hey, y'all. Hey, lovely lady. Hi, Tapatwa. KD Max says, hey, Zamo. Official Lungi says, my role model. Oh, and she put a heart. Thank you. I'm very, very flattered. Hi, my favorite person. Hi, pancakes. Love the paintings behind you. Aren't they just incredible? My set today, or my location today, is Under the Aegis. Is one of the best galleries in Cape Town, and one of my very closest friends, Anissa Manu, runs it. And this piece right here is unbelievable. Everybody wanted it at the fair. So yeah, you can go to Under the Aegis and tap on their link. You'll definitely see all the incredible artwork that they have at the gallery. But if you're in Cape Town, come visit it, and if you know of a gallerist or a collector, come support. Lady Do, you are a gift to this country. Stop. I adore you. And my sis Liz is here. The original Olga. I love you, sis. We're talking sustainability for future generations. Absolutely. Now, if you haven't taken a look at my title, we are back for the Take Your Shot series with MultiChoice and the Earthshot prize. Guys, I cannot even believe that the Earthshot prize is literally upon us. I cannot even think straight, just thinking about the incredible stuff that's about to happen during Earthshot week. So I'm so excited. If you have never joined me on one of these lives, we have been having them for the past couple of months. It's the Take Your Shot series, and they are brought to you by MultiChoice Group, who is the official African broadcast media partner for the Earthshot prize. Nomzamo, what is the Earthshot prize? The Earthshot prize is a global environmental award that was started by His Highness Prince William and the Royal Foundation. It is to discover, it is to celebrate global minds, individuals, organizations that are coming up with scalable and incredible, impactful solutions that are tackling some of the greatest environmental challenges that we are currently facing. And the Take Your Shot series has been an incredible way to highlight African innovators. Because there's this idea that, oh, you know, people on the continent, is there anyone who's doing anything on the continent? Are there any organizations that are doing anything, whether it's in sustainable fashion or restoring nature or protecting nature? Or is it, you know, is there anyone doing anything to fix our climate? Are any people looking after our oceans? Yes, there are incredible African innovators who are coming up with some of those most brilliant solutions when it comes to climate change and climate justice. And I get to speak to them during the Take Your Shot series, and I'm just excited that I get to do that, honestly, because then it means I just have to do better, and I learn each time, and we always have such fantastic conversations on these lives. So one of the things that I love to do is to say, what do you care about? There are 5 goals for the Earthshot Prize. The first one is to fix our climate. Do you want to fix the climate? It's to clean our air. It is to protect and restore nature. It is to revive our oceans, and it is to build a waste-free world. So if you are into recycling, put the recycling emoji. If you're into making sure that our air is clean, so you're all about the carbon copies and bars, so please go put air, you know. If you're about fixing our climate, put the world. Or if you're about restoring our planet, put the nice little globe, if you can. Put the globe in the emojis. Cleaner air is certainly part of the goal. It really, really, really is. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it does not exist. And if you're passionate about ocean life and ocean preservation, put a wave or put anything that an emoji can be able to depict your love for the ocean. So today's 2 guests are incredible women who are from the MultiChoice Talent Factory. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to go and text a friend who has always wanted to join the Talent Factory. And you're going to learn more about what the Talent Factory does and why MultiChoice felt they need to start the Talent Factory. And the Talent Factory, for me, I've partnered with the MultiChoice Talent Factory through my organization, where I found 2 individuals who were really passionate about film and television production. And essentially, it's almost like a learnership, and they identify students who are really passionate about film and television. You get put onto the MultiChoice Talent Factory. There you get to experience every single production under MultiChoice, okay? And you're getting paid, but you're also getting so much exposure and so much experience. It's one of the most incredible programs that is out there, truly. And I get to speak to the 2 incredible women today who are the Academy Directors for East Africa and West Africa. So if you know anybody in East Africa and West Africa who's also passionate about film and television and just doesn't have the means, please, please, please call them. So John says, this is art. I know, he loves art. I know, I'm in one of the best places right now, and I feel like it's overshadowing me, but it's fine. It's beautiful and it's brilliant. And we're here at Under the Aegis by Annelisa Mann. And so I'm going to, first of all, before I call on Victoria, I just have to say, everybody has been putting in the best emojis. I'm seeing recycle, I'm seeing the earth, I'm seeing globe, I'm seeing trees, I'm seeing plants. So we're really passionate about nature. I see waves, Dedication N has waves, so we're reviving our oceans, we're protecting ocean health. Oh, this is just fantastic. Yay. Love you guys. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to accept Victoria, who has already joined, and we're going to get into this. Look at me, I got my notes because I'm like, I want to know all the juicy details. Okay, I have accepted Victoria, and I'm just going to wait for her to say yes. Hello.
Hello, Nomzamo. Nice to meet you. It actually feels surreal.
It does, why?
It does. Awesome.
Oh, it's so wonderful that you even made the time for this. Thank you.
Anytime.
Truly. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. We're so grateful to have the pleasure of your presence. I'm here to just soak up all the knowledge, not only about the MultiChoice Talent Factory East productions and program, but essentially just about the woman that you are and just this incredible, illustrious career that you've been able to enjoy at MultiChoice. But to not end it there, to then helm something that actually pays it forward to the thing that we love, right? And understanding where the key factors are and the missing middle is to be able to fill those kinds of gaps and have and show that private sector can be able to come up with incredible solutions that are there to empower the youth, right? So for anyone who's just joined us, we're here with Victoria, who is the multi-choice Talent Factory Director for Eastern Africa. And we're so incredibly honored to have her with us today. Victoria Nxumalo. So before we get into the professional side, who is Victoria?
Tough question, really tough. Many things. But first, wife, mother, auntie, in that order, daughter. But if I was to sum who I am, I would say I'm an extremely passionate person in everything that I apply myself to. And I think it's been one of the key things about my journey, even in the film industry. So by profession, I am a seasoned film producer. I have spent 27 years, I would say, in Kenya's public sector in the film industry. During that time, I have risen, the 27 years, risen from a production assistant on set all the way to a director for Kenya's very first film talent institution. But during that time, also been a person who has been a change agent in many ways, because I look at what is and what we need to do better. So I have a continuous improvement mindset that allows me to be able to see where the gaps are. That allows me to also to be able to suggest what I think we should do, but most importantly, push for it to be done. And that has allowed me to be part of many national initiatives where I've had to really, in many ways, champion some of the changes that we'd like to see in the film sector in Kenya, and some of the state agencies that have been set really to be able to give direction as to where we go as a country in the area of filmmaking, and most importantly, the public sector and what is the place of film as one of the economic sectors in Kenya. Aside from that, I have a very illustrious career in documentary production, having spent more than 15 years back to back, making sure that we can explain government policies and programs in Kenya through film, so that we're able to get citizens to be able to participate in the development agenda for this nation. But most importantly, I'm a film trainer, I'm an educator. I seek not just to empower, I seek to make sure that the empowerment actually translates into a young person who joins the industry, a market-ready graduate who is ready to impact the industry in a significant manner. So really pulling all the stops, making sure that the person that we send out is a person who is confident, a person who is passionate, and a person who's ready for takeoff.
That's it. That's incredible. But of course, you left out one thing. Can I just share with everyone?
Yes.
In December of 2021, you were awarded the Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya.
Yes,
making you the first Kenyan female filmmaker to be honored in a citation that read, for her outstanding contribution to the development of the film industry in Kenya.
True. Very true.
I had to read that out, outside of the fact that you won Most Impactful Woman at the Film Awards as well. But I had to read that out because it speaks, when you have the highest order being awarded to you by your country, that in itself shows that it's not just a surface level journey, that you have skin in the game and it's been purposeful work and one that obviously has shifted a lot of narratives. Before we get into MTF, I'm going to call it MTF, guys, but for reference sake, it's MultiChoice Talent Factory. Before we get into MTF, what are your thoughts around the East African film industry? Do you feel like it's being fed enough, or do you think that it is being underserved?
Good question, Nomza. I would say actually a combination of both. Why? If you look at our East African film industry, a lot of our history comes from really our colonial past with the British. And if you remember all the time, throughout the period that really towards colonialism, there wasn't much of an African presence in any of the films that you would see. I can give you an example of Kenya. We were a prime destination for all the romantic adventure stories that would be told. Mogambo, for instance, in 1941. Stories like King Solomon's Mine. Really interesting stories, but one in which Kenya was used as primarily as this really untouched destination. Prim and proper flora and fauna, beautiful landscapes. But if you think about the African participation, it wasn't there. If we were there as porters. I mean, we carried the bags for the British filmmakers that came to Kenya, the American filmmakers. We had films shot in Kenya by even one US president at that time, Theodore Roosevelt, actually shot a film in Kenya in 1902 that was called Theo Came to Kenya. Theo Came to Africa. So we have been really, for the longest, all the way up to independence, on the periphery of anything related to really having a film industry that you would say had any representation, for instance, from the local communities or the local people in Kenya. Post-independence, we all went into building the nations. So we put in place infrastructure, roads, schools. We made sure there was provision for water. Film really essentially wasn't a very important component at that particular point in time. We were putting in place the very first forms of broadcast, our very first independent broadcast TV stations in our 4 countries in East Africa. And even then, broadcasting just for a few hours and going off air. We didn't have, like the body of content that would actually allow us to be able to broadcast the whole day, So in many ways, the realization that film actually can become a sector that can become an important sector of our economy and contribute to GDP across East Africa is a very late realization. I would say actually this realization maybe came into place in the early 90s. Sure. But even then, there was a need to build the infrastructure to be able to have sustainable film industries across the region. And then, of course, we have the normal cultural barriers that in many countries, film isn't really considered to be a priority sector. Look at some of the myths that even parents have when it comes to taking their children to actually pursue a film course. Are you sure that all you want to do is just act? Don't you want to be a veterinary doctor or a lawyer or some other profession? So we have lagged behind, I think, a lot of it really coming out of our colonial past that didn't place film at the center stage of development communication. It didn't place film at the center of any of our really serious economic undertakings as nations in East Africa. Sure. But this has changed significantly. It has changed significantly, really with successful examples throughout Africa and really us as distinctly African people that also look at what is happening in other parts of Africa. How do they get to do it? Are there nations that we can learn from? And I will say here flat out, the Republic of South Africa and Nigeria really have been really critical for a lot of the growth that we see in the industries in East Africa. Why? We have been able to learn really good practices when it comes to the area of production. We have been able to share across the different countries knowledge and experience. We've had skills transfer in this particular period that now allows us to be able to look at film as a really important sector, have deliberate government funding, have deliberate government films agencies that now support film as a really crucial economic sector across the region.
And of course, the economic element of it ties into why MTF even exists. And I love that you spoke about the social perceptions around the industry, particularly for young people. And perhaps I want us to lead us into the multi-choice talent factory. For anyone who doesn't know, what is the MTF factory?
Okay. So the multi-choice talent factory is first and foremost is the corporate shared, the CSI, the corporate shared initiative of the MultiChoice group. And one that in many ways, if you ask me, is considered to be really a transformative approach to the whole area of being able to look at young people and what it is they need to do really to be able to craft successful careers in film and TV production across Africa. So the first thing that the MultiChoice Talent Factory really aspires to do is to improve the quality of content across our continent. But the other thing is also to improve the African storytelling element. So it was established in 2018. We have 3 academies, one in Lagos, Nigeria, one in Lusaka, Zambia, and one here in Nairobi, Kenya. And the idea was to provide hands-on, immersive training in film and television production to young, aspiring film and TV professionals across the continent. So we have 14 countries that are represented throughout the 3 academies, but most importantly, in our 6 years of existence, one of the things that we've been able to do is to offer this really comprehensive training, comprehensive 12 months, really fully accommodated in the different academies, but most importantly, making sure that the students are also taught by experts, African experts, people that essentially who have been part and parcel of the program here. The program is total immersion. So during the time that you're here, you focus really on learning the art and craft of film. We have a significant interest in making sure that we can be able to tell the African story. So a significant part of the program, the early part of the program, is actually spent on introduction to story and script. Why? Storytelling is in the African DNA. We intrinsically are storytellers. Yeah. And who better to be able to tell our stories? So there's a big focus on us, the students, being able to learn how to do scripting, how to be able to tell original stories, authentic stories, stories that resonate with the African people, stories that have cross-border appeal, a story that can be seen in, for instance, Tembisa in South Africa and still make sense in a small part of Nairobi called Jericho. So stories that really can travel, stories that have, they speak a lot to who we are as people, yeah, and what we would like to see. The collective aspirations of the African people really come through. So after storytelling, then we make sure that we really get a thorough grounding in the technical areas. So cinematography, yeah, sound engineering, editing. Then we look at some other specializations that now are really critical part of storytelling: script supervision, production design. Right now, as we move forward, and I will be speaking about it much later, we're also trying to look at how to introduce, for instance, the element of green filmmaking as part of the components of what we teach here in the academy. So we seek to contribute to the technical and professional value chain of production across Africa. And this program is structured in such a way that the young man or woman who joins this program leaves this, when they join this program, they don't leave in the same way that they joined the program. Why? Because throughout the year, they're also in a busy production house. So they get to actually do productions at every single stage, every single semester during the time they're in the academy, leading to their graduation film, which is a 1-hour feature at the end of the year.
Now, in terms of numbers, how many students would you say you've had go through the academy in East Africa so far?
Okay, so I would say up to the group that actually graduates at the beginning of December, I would say 80. I'd say 80 because we train 20 every year. We train 20 every year, every single year. So we have, in the 20, we have 4 students from Ethiopia for this academy. We have 4 students from Uganda. we have 5 students from Tanzania, and then we have 7 students from Kenya. So really that's
brilliant.
East Africa. Yeah, I would say.
I love my East Africa, by the way, but we won't get into that. Now, I want to try again, but talking about the Earthshot Prize, and we're obviously talking about the commitment in sustainability and how we can be able to also go into understanding that, you know, at the end of the day, we've got to be able to protect and restore our nature, clean our air, fix our climate,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Some of the core values and goals of the Earthshot Prize. I wanted to
Yes.
particularly speak about the reforestation site, and for you to tell us more about that, because when I was reading about it, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, we've got to be able to unpack this. I need to know about it and
Yes.
whose idea it was and how that even came about. Of course, it's not something that's foreign, because Kenya as a country is very much committed to sustainability and committed to really tackling climate change. So I want you to please speak about the reforestation site.
Okay. Excellent. It's close to my heart.
I saw the way your eyes just lit up as soon as I started speaking about it. You're like,
Absolutely, Nomza. So this is a saying that we have in the academy, the East Africa Academy, that really, essentially, we are only able to tell our stories because we have the environment within which to be able to tell our stories. We have the locations that we can get to. We can actually, in Kenya, we have this saying, film Kenya, capture Africa, because you can find any location that you want within really the confines of the Republic of Kenya. But for our students, one of the things that we say is that we have a planet that allows us to be able to tell our story. And we have a really important responsibility, really even just picking from the Earthshot Prize itself, to protect and restore nature.
yeah.
We're only able to tell our stories because somebody took care of the environment to allow us to be able to tell the stories. So how do we, who have been given so much, not give anything in return in many, many ways? So Nderi is a very interesting village in Nairobi. It's actually just about 50 kilometers outside of Nairobi. It's on the highway that takes us to the Rift Valley of Kenya. It's a small village that really has remained in many ways untouched. You won't find any skyscrapers, you won't find big road highways and that kind of thing. But in that sort of natural state, it has become a prime film location in Kenya. I can't think in the last 15, 20 years, any big TV series that has not been shot, even if it's not the entire series, but you will find some segments of the series has been shot there. But you also have series that have been shot primarily in Delhi. I can give you an example. Our adaptation of The River, the South African family drama, was shot in Delhi. Here in Kenya, we call it Kina. My all-time favorite, Gomorrah, the Kenyan adaptation called Salem, was shot in Delhi. So every big TV series you can think of in this country has been shot in Delhi really for the longest. And interesting, so has all the major MTF films been shot in Delhi.
Oh, wow.
It's a little village that really has remained untouched. But the interesting thing is that it also has people that really have a thorough understanding of a screen culture. People understand film. A 70-year-old grandmother will make way for you the minute that you say, I would like to shoot here. So it's something very unique. There's something very unique about Nderi. It's actually part of my doctorate, but I will say here now. And its popularity really stems also from the heart of the people of Nderi. They're very forthcoming. I mean,
would you say there's community participation? Is there an element?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nderi is the only place you will not struggle to find a location that you want, even if it's a person's house. Wow. They are willing and able to actually allow you to be able to have access to that particular house. So interesting for the MTF family. From 2018, when the Academy came into being, the very first film that we did, our graduation film, which went on to win the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, Best MTF Film 2019, Promises, was shot in Nderi. in the village,
So
on the
what is the
streets of Deli.
reforestation element to it?
This is it now.
Who has spearheaded that?
We have spearheaded it as MTF because one of the things that we realized is first and foremost, the people on Dairy are so giving, and we're just telling ourselves we have taken so much. We have continued to shoot in Dairy year after year. Even now, we're on set in Dairy as I speak. And we're telling ourselves that what do we need to be able to do to really, first and foremost, thank the people of Dairy for the support they've given us over the years. So we said that we would find an initiative that really would help the people of Dairy understand, first and foremost, that they have a precious gift that they need to be able to take care of. And we want to be part and parcel of them being able to take care of that particular environment. So what have we done? We selected a primary school. I mean, there were many places in Dairy that we could have worked to help protect the environment. But we chose a primary school that first and foremost was in an area where the fencing of the school was problematic at that particular point in time. So there were attempts to put up a fence, first and foremost, to stop any sort of infiltration from people that were not part of the school community. So we helped to put trees across the fence to be able, first and foremost, to give it, security. Then the other thing that we did as we planted the trees that were going to fence off the school is we decided that we were going to plant fruit trees. Fruit trees. This school has 1,000 students, and all of them are day scholars. They get a hot meal in school, but the hot meal doesn't include fruits. So we decided to supplement the school diet by planting 80 fruit trees, which will fast maturing trees, which will come into fruition maybe just about...
Victoria, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is all the work of MultiChoice Talent Factory?
Eastern Africa Academy.
This is your project. This is the way that you're thinking. This is the way that you're seeing the world. And
yes, so that's what we did. So we planted the fruit trees, and at the end of this month, on the 31st, we're going back to plant more. Okay, so this is a long-term project for us, but the fruit trees, the students are really exciting because they also help us water the trees. We can't always be there. So the fruit trees are going to...
I'm thinking about mango season.
Pixie oranges, mango avocado.
Because at school, whoever's getting there in the morning, you gotta run to the mango tree. But before I let you go, and I don't want to seem like I'm rushing you because we have another guest that's coming on. Before I let you go, I want you to speak to us about the importance of how do we bridge the gap between media and storytelling, and actually speaking about social impact and speaking about sustainability and speaking about climate change and putting that within the storytelling element of film and television.
It has to be deliberate, Nomza. We must make that agenda front, back, center of everything that we do.
Agreed.
One of the things that here in the academy we have already entrenched is every single year the students do a public service announcement on climate change that goes on air throughout Kenya. The other thing that we've done during the Africa Climate Summit, our public service announcement, Be the Change, Fight Climate Change, is something that the students were able to screen at the opening ceremony of the African Climate Summit. So it has to be deliberate. It's not anything that we can jump onto without giving it proper thought. It must be really coordinated. We must be able to entrench, for instance, the making of environmental films within our curriculums in film training institutions across Africa. We have nothing to lose in that particular process. It has to be deliberate. It has to be planned. It has to be something that we have to continue to be really, really passionate and very invested about, very intentional, because we have to save our planet. If we don't save it, then no one will. And it's not about this generation, it's not about that generation. It is all generations. But I think for me, for the young people of Africa, we must be able to embed that particular culture in everything they do. We must be able to empower them to be able to make those deliberate choices that make them place the environment front, center, and back of everything that they do. They will not be able to do. Sorry?
You're already leading with example.
Oh, yes.
Truly,
I
because
mean,
it's a holistic approach, but you're moving in excellence. And so, of course, the students that you're leading with the program, where else are they going to see this example but through you?
no, I imagine that really across Africa, there are initiatives similar to ours. Maybe there isn't so much noise happening around it, but I am really in many ways saying that it is totally possible to get youth participation in climate change projects without us having to struggle, because they understand what is at stake. So whether we're protecting and restoring nature, whether we are looking at, for instance, the whole issue of how we fight climate change, how we place the environment at the center of everything that we do. It's not, I don't know, for me, Nomza, it's not rocket science. I'm just thinking it's something that everyone should be able to pick and work towards making sure that we do have a planet to live. We do have a planet to live beyond us, a planet that really essentially was bequeathed to us by the Creator himself. And what possible reason would we have to be able to destroy it, honestly? So the link between film and the environment, a huge one. There is no filming if we do not have an environment that we can actually that can actually allow us to be able to tell our stories. We want to tell our stories, but we must also have a very deliberate investment in making sure that we have a pristine environment that allows us to be able to be true, to be authentic, and protect what has been given to us without us even asking for it.
Victoria, there's nothing to say after those words. Zero. Absolutely nothing. Thank you. Thank you for inspiring us today. Thank you for your leadership, but also thank you for your passion and vision and insight and the power to actually just do. Because sometimes we can think about things and we can imagine them and fantasize about them and think that, yes, we can, and we just go about our ways to meet our whatever ROIs that we need to meet, the numbers that we need to meet. But it speaks to true character when we truly merge between people and planet. And I think what you're doing in the East is just incredible. And I am inviting myself. I'm inviting myself to be there. I need to see it with my own eyes. I need to experience it. And I just cannot wait. So we'll take this conversation offline. I don't even want to debate about this. We'll take this offline. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to just seeing more work, and of course the incredible cohorts that are going to be graduating next from MTF East Africa.
Thank you
So much.
and welcome to Kenya when you can.
You're going to be saying jumbo, and I'm going to be like, that
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Someone just said, can I come with you, Nomzam? Awe. All right. I think you have to try and leave the live.
Yes, I am leaving. I am definitely leaving. Okay.
I'm not chasing you away. I want you to stay.
Okay.
Hi. I can see y'all. Oh, that was just too sublime. Oh my goodness, what an incredible woman. I'm so inspired. I'm just like, okay, are we even doing enough work? Do we need to do more? There's definitely more to be done. I see my nephew's also on the live. Hello, Bandile. He has a very fancy name for himself on Instagram. I hope everyone's been enjoying this conversation. And if you've joined us at the end, that was Victoria Nzalo Oboro, who is the East Africa Director for the MultiChoice Talent Factory. Next up, I have Atinuke Ngozi Babatunde, and she is the West Africa Director for MultiChoice Talent Factory. Simone, Chef Simone, he says, hey girl, you were supposed to send that in French, please, Simone. Can you send it in French? Let everybody know on my Instagram that I got French friends. Okay, I'm going to go and add add her right now and have this conversation and see how best we can do this. How's everyone doing? Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you for staying. Thank you for being so productive in this live and just contributing to the conversation. I see everybody's enjoying this conversation and I'm excited as well. So, Atinuke, I'm going to see if she's ready for us. And I think she is. Boom, 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 boom. Is she? Ça va très bien. Ah, I told y'all about Chef Simon. Come on, I was like French, y'all. You made it.
I made it.
Do not put African women on Instagram
No,
Live. We don't know how to act. Like, I just
hi.
where are you joining us from? Where are you?
I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, West
No, you
Africa,
forgot
the
one word. You
heartbeat
should have
of
said
Africa.
bustling. I'm
Yes.
in bustling Lagos, Nigeria. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy you could join us tonight. Thank you so much for making the time and bringing the vibes. You are bringing the vibes, definitely. And I'm excited that I get to have this conversation with you tonight because everyone has just been waiting for these two brilliant women who are making impactful change, not just
Yes.
any kind of change, but impactful change. Change that's holistic, change that is inclusive, and change that is bridging that awful gap of inequality. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just excited that we get to have this conversation.
I'm excited too.
Thank you for joining us from
Thank you.
bustling Lagos.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what I love to do is that I don't love to read out a bio because I'm just like, hey, maybe not. I want to shine a light in a way, and for everyone who's joining us, please tell us who this woman is. Who is the woman? We know the woman that the world knows, but who is the woman? What make
Okay.
it the woman?
Okay. Okay. So
Time,
this
time,
woman,
time to
let
just like boast about yourself. Time to boast about yourself, Antonina. You go.
all right, so this woman is a woman that loves films. And I'm saying it not because I work for MultiChoice. I mean, I'm someone that have loved films from forever. This woman is a mom, uh, two girls. I have two girls. I have a husband, but usually I bring my daughters before my husband. But I mean, like, uh, she's a woman with over 20 years experience spanning through. So my career has been through telecoms, marketing, branding, and then TV, and now in the academy teaching. This woman is a woman that loves mentoring. I love coaching. I love mentoring. And I think that's why I'm able to coach in various organizations, both within Africa and outside Africa, because that's something I love doing. This woman is the MultiChoice Talent Factory Academy Director for West Africa, a job I truly love. We have 20 students, and when people ask me how many kids do I have, I say I have 22 because 20 plus 2 is 22. This woman is a woman that when I'm asked what I do as career, I tell people that I work in a manufacturing company where we
Wow.
manufacture talents
Wow,
because
wow,
that
wow,
is what the
wow.
multi-choice talent factory is. We literally
Wow.
manufacture talents every day. So this is this woman.
Oh, I'm in the manufacturing business because I manufacture
Yes,
talent. Oh
yes.
my
I mean,
goodness. Now,
that's what
okay,
multi-choice talent factory is. We manufacture
let's get
talents.
straight to the business because at the Academy, there are 4 films that
Yeah.
have been released.
Yes.
4 films that speak on climate change.
Yes.
And I think that's really specific, but most importantly, it's incredibly intentional.
Yes. Very, very.
Why that intention? Why say that we need to speak about climate change in our TV and movie productions?
Okay, so we have something in our hands, which is the power of storytelling. I mean, you spoke with my colleague Victoria, and you talked about storytelling and how we as Africans were known for storytelling. I grew up with my grandma gathering us together and telling us stories and all that. And so it was a no-brainer when the Earthshot team said they were coming to Lagos, Nigeria. We sat down as a team and we said, look, how best do we tell the Earthshot and the climate story, the sustainability story? And then we asked the students, think about something, think about the earth as your home, because it is your home. That's
It
the
is.
only thing we have. The earth takes care of us. So think of what you can do to take care of the earth. And they came back with this brilliant story ideas. So we have 3 stories and we shot those stories because the intentionality is it's one thing to be doing great things, but it's another thing when people don't know what you're doing. It's one thing to say we want to take care of the environment, but some people don't even know they are destroying the environment. And so we
That's
came
it.
up with these stories. We went to our local communities where we know they had issues around flooding, waste disposal
Yeah.
and all. We had meetings with the local we call them ballers, like kings, the community leaders. And then they told us what their challenges were, took us to their different sites, and then we created 3 powerful stories because we believe that
Incredible.
you can go and talk to people, but if you have a story, stories never die. They keep
They don't.
create, they don't die.
They
And
don't.
the intention is to take the stories to as far and as wide as possible so people see the impact the activities are having on the environment. People see how they can help keep the
Absolutely.
environment. And the good thing is, as we speak, Africa Magic channels, we have 6 Africa Magic channels. Those stories are already with them and they're going to help us air it across 52 African countries. You know what that means. So we were
That's
deliberate
power.
and
That is
intentional in
power.
terms of telling. And then we're also partnering with climate changers that will help us take those stories to universities, secondary schools, to engage the young people from the beginning so that they
But
know
you know
the
what I
impacts.
call it as well?
Yes.
I always say that it's to localize the language
Yes.
of climate. Because I do
Yes.
feel that sometimes when we hear the jargon, people
Yes.
get so intimidated by the jargon of climate change that they think, oh, it's so far removed.
True.
But actually, if we use the power of storytelling to speak to climate change and to speak to sustainability, what it
Yeah.
does is it creates a language that's
Yes.
accessible to the everyday person,
I
and
completely
everyone
agree.
thinks, oh, I can actually be able to practice this in my everyday
Yes.
life.
And
And
no, no, I was saying, and to your point, that was why we went to the local communities. We didn't remain in the cities. We went to where the local communities are, where, they spoke Pidgin, they spoke Yoruba with
wow,
subtitles so that they understand what the impact of what they're doing is and how it affects the environment. And so for us, we're storytellers, we're filmmakers. It will make no sense not to document and have films of
that's
how to keep
it.
our environment.
Tell us about racing against time.
Okay. Racing against, I mean, the name already tells us what it is about.
No, the name is a
Racing
call to action. The name is a wake up call already.
yes. The story behind the race against time, if you look at our environment, we're literally racing against time. And if we're not
Yeah.
careful with what we do, we're going to find out one day, God forbid, I'll wake up and then we see that the oceans are chasing us out of our homes. I mean, it's happening
Sure.
even in some parts of West Africa, Lagos, for instance, when it rains, you see floods everywhere. You see rubbish come out and take over the roads. And also, we're racing against time. And so, when the students came back with the concept of that title, we went to those communities and we interviewed them to see what their challenges were, how the things that were being thrown in the gutters and all those things, how it was affecting them, and the long-term impact. And so Race Against Time is a call to action to say, look, we really don't have as much time as we think. Because if we continue doing what we're doing now, we're going to get to a point where things are going to be really bad. The indices already show that the ozone layers are getting depleted every day.
Absolutely.
Global warming is happening everywhere. The snow,
Deforestation.
yes, everywhere. Deforestation, the emissions, all sorts. So Race Against Time is a call to action to say we need to really do something.
I say we need to take it to festivals around the world so that it can be viewed and we can be able to
Yes,
inspire
yes,
filmmakers.
yes,
But also, I
yes.
think the real chip on the shoulders to know that students made
Students,
this. You know,
make them, yes. MCF West
students made
Africa.
that, and not just any students, your students.
Yes.
Now, I want to, before I let you go, I want to speak about number one, the state of the industry, the creative economy in West Africa,
Okay.
particularly for young creators and young creatives and young filmmakers.
Yes.
Because, in South Africa, there was a big conversation around open up the industry where give other people a chance, give other creators a chance, up and coming talent a chance. And I want to understand, what is your vision for young creators and particularly filmmakers who are really wanting to build the creative economy in West Africa? And I'm sure they're part of your cohort, of course,
Yes.
of students that you are looking after. What are your thoughts on that, and what do you envision around that?
Okay, so when you look at filmmaking in West Africa, and if I take Nigeria for instance, research has shown that for the longest time, oil was like our major resource. Oil was what everybody thought, export and all. But research has actually shown now that the film making industry, the Nollywood industry, using Nigeria as an example, has the
Sure.
potential to become bigger than oil in terms of exports. And so, again, Africa, we have a very thriving population of young people. The majority of the people in Africa, West Africa, Nigeria, for instance, they're young people. And so we're seeing the fact that the digital world and the digital space has almost democratized filmmaking. And so a lot of
Wow.
people are now showing interest in being filmmakers. They're coming and shooting stuff with their phones. They're doing things. The industry is growing, it's expanding.
Absolutely.
And we as multi-choice talent factory, one of the core things we're doing is looking for environments to enable those talents that are out there, especially in the young ones. And so beyond the 20 people we train in a formal environment, we're constantly doing master classes to make sure we empower those that cannot join the academy
Oh,
itself.
brilliant.
Yes, so there's
Because that's the
constant
program to also benefit from the
benefit
knowledge.
from knowledge. So we're
Wow.
constantly doing that. We had one some weeks back, and those are the things, because the young people, if you go online on TikTok, every young person is a creator these days. Yeah, they're TikToking, they're on Instagram, and we're helping give them the knowledge they need to become better filmmakers.
Incredible. And of course, they can be able to contribute to the creative economy.
Yes.
But knowing the fact that they are the alumni
Yes.
that comes from it must be a fantastic thing to know.
It is.
Okay. Before I let you go, one more question.
Okay.
What is the future of sustainability and the multi-choice talent factory look like? You've already started with these 4 films.
Yeah.
Is it something that you want to continue to do, or not? Yeah, what does that look like for MTF and also sustainability?
For us, it's something we intend to continue doing, because number one, the awareness, we've already started that. We don't
You have.
intend to stop. I
Where do
already
we
said
find the
that.
films, by the way? We need
The
we need
films are on
titles. We need.
YouTube. So if you go to the
Oh,
MultiChoice Talent Factory YouTube handles, they're there.
we'll
And
find.
they're also coming on the 7 Africa Magic channels: Showcase, ethnic, Yoruba, Igbo, family, and all. So we'll continue creating awareness because we believe that the people first need to know. It's only when you know, then you desire to do better. The other thing is we're also looking at other things in terms of reducing the use of paper. I mean, these days you can do more things online electronically than using papers all around. We're being more deliberate with the people we buy from in terms of what kind of packages. Are they nylon bags? Are they plastics? Are they renewable things that we can easily dispose of and not create waste? So we're actually being very deliberate, and it's something that we're not going to stop anytime soon.
What else are you not going to stop anytime soon? Creating magic.
Yes, yes, yes.
What an incredible honor. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Honestly, we could chat until the morning.
Thank
That's
you.
the honest truth.
Yes.
But I had already invited myself to the East Africa Academy.
You must come. You must come to our academy. When you come, you won't go back. You won't want to go. You must come.
I
Just a quick stop.
just mentioned the other one because I knew that the invite would then come automatically. You fell into my trap.
Yes.
MultiChoice talent Patrick W. in West Africa says, yes, we are not stopping anytime
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
They are not, no stopping, no stopping. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time today.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for your
doctor.
wisdom.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your vision, and thank you for making sure that you really just pay it forward.
Thank
I
you.
think that's the most incredible thing for me. It's important. We've got to be able to pay it forward. We've got to be able to send the ladder down, but also not just any kind of ladder, not just any kind of investment.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I'm such a fan of NTF. I really, really am. I'm not saying this because you're on this call or that we're talking around MultiChoice, but I'm a fan of it because it's such a holistic program,
Yeah.
and I've seen how impactful it has been for young filmmakers.
Yes.
Because it's something that they have for life. It's knowledge that they can take anyway. It's skills, which is the most important. It's
Yes.
skills.
It is.
So, good night, my darling. Thank
Good
you
night.
so much.
Sign out.
I love that. This.
Bye.
Don't bring me to Lagos. It's done after
No,
that.
no,
Oh man. Yay! What a fantastic conversation. My goodness. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here for this evening's conversation. Atinuki was just amazing. I love her spirit and her energy. You can just tell she's so passionate about young people and she's so passionate about her students, and I think that's incredible. Um, and truly, I cannot stress it enough. It's important for us to take our skills and use them in ways that can be able to impact other people and use them in ways that can be able to impact the next generation. And what I always love to say is that there's no glory in being the single success story. These are women who could literally take their skills and run with them in any private sector, but they are heading up MultiChoice Talent Factory in one of the most beautiful ways, in impactful ways, and that's to really pass on skills and knowledge in a holistic, in a fantastic, and an excellent manner to young people who want to grow in the film and television industry. But outside of that, they also care about the environment. They are all about sustainability. They are all about bringing light into climate change and truly bridging the gap between climate change and film and television. So I am so incredibly honored that MultiChoice continues to trust me with the Take a Shot series, but also with the Earthshot Prize as well, coming to South Africa, Cape Town, and we are so looking forward to it. There's going to be some exciting announcements that are happening this week, so look out for the incredible announcements from the Earthshot Prize as well as MultiChoice. We are excited. Today I had a fantastic conversation with the mayor of the city of Cape Town, and I can't wait for everyone to see that. We will continue to just stay connected. The next time you see me, We might be in Cape Town, baby, for Earthshot Week with MultiChoice as the official African media sponsor and just making sure that you stay up to date with every single thing that's to do with the Earthshot Prize. We can't wait to host His Royal Highness Prince William. We can't wait to host the entire Earthshot team. I hope you guys are watching. Get here already. Get here already. I'm so excited. And of course, we are so excited to finally find out who our lucky finalists are this year that are going to be walking away with the grand prizes and all the goals that continue to sustain the Earthshot Prize. So, as we separate and as we say our goodbyes, I hope that you are doing your best either to fix our climate, to clean our air, to protect and restore nature, to revive our oceans, and to build a waste-free world. I cannot stress it enough. It is always important to stand up for something that is much greater than yourself. If you don't know what that thing is yet, I urge you to find it, my friend. Au revoir.